a6000 versus Sony a6300. This is a big question. Does it worth upgrading or not? I think that we should find out by seeing the results.
Confession that you're my obsession, you're pulsing through me.
Hello everybody, my name is Autofocus from Blue Sky Photography, and today I'd like to talk to you about two interesting cameras, very interesting cameras. Mirrorless, both of them, and both of them from Sony. Sony a6000 and Sony a6300. My question is, if you have the Sony a6000, probably you ask this question yourself: does it worth upgrading or not? In my case, I have to be sure all the time if I want to upgrade or not. So I didn't have a hands-on experience with the Sony a6300. So I traveled up to Dublin and in a camera shop, and I just tested the two cameras, one near the other. So I made a few pictures from the camera shop, from the corner of the camera shop, with both of the cameras, and let's see the results. Let's see if it's worth upgrading or not. Now I have to tell you from the beginning that a lot of YouTubers and a lot of photographers, they will talk about Sony a6300, and they will say, oh, how nice it is, and 4K video and image quality excellent. But rarely I've ever seen somebody who did pictures from the same scenery, same settings, same lighting conditions, same everything with both of the cameras, and then just post the pictures one near the other. So you can see really if it's worth upgrading or not, because that's the situation where you can see really if the camera is better or not. Because I can talk here a half hour about how nice is the Sony a6300 and how good it is, and it worth every penny to pay, 1,000 euro, 1,000 whatever dollar, or whatever money do you have. But that's only my opinion, and my opinion can be influenced by others. So I don't want to convince you at all. I don't want to prove anything. I just want to show to you the results, and I will tell you my opinion, because as you can see in my videos, I'm different. I will say my opinion regardless of I like the camera or not. If the camera is not good, I will say it's not good. If the camera is good, I will say it's good. So in this case, let's see what's going on, and let's see if it's worth upgrading or not. So we are in my computer, and let's open up some pictures. As you can see over here, this is only a corner from the camera shop, but I have to tell you that these conditions are very, very difficult conditions for the camera. So in these conditions, the cameras really, they will be tested. I mean, you can see if it's good or not, because these are poor lighting conditions. Because they can talk a lot about making very, very nice and beautiful pictures in good lighting conditions. Well, if you take a 1-inch sensor camera and you have a very good lighting conditions, you make beautiful pictures. I mean, that's not the issue. The issue is when the conditions becomes a bit harsh and a bit bad. Then you can see really how the camera shines. So in this case, the conditions were very bad, because it was a dim lit camera shop. I didn't have any lighting over there, just a few bulbs, and in this case you can see what the really the camera can do. So let's move along with the pictures. You can see on the left side over here is the Sony a6300. Oh yes, you can see here all the time on the EXIF data, on the right side. If I pull up here, you can see that if I click on this picture, it says that it's Sony a6300. You can see over here. And also I have to mention over here that both of the cameras They were in the same position, same aperture value and same ISO. The shutter speed might have been different a little bit because in some cases I didn't really remember the shutter speed, so I just went, okay, let's do the same exposure, kind of, you know, because here we don't look at the low light capability. Here we look at the image quality. That's the most important thing in my case. About low light capability, that's a different story. So we don't really look at it now. We are looking at the image quality. So the f-stop and the ISO and the millimeter, because on both of the cameras I use the same lens, the Sony 28mm f2 lens. So on the left side is Sony a6300, right side is Sony a6000. Now let's get a little bit closer. In both of the cases the focus was here on these tripods. So let's get a little bit closer and let's see the tripod. Yeah, there we are. Okay, now as you can see over here in this picture, the Sony a6000 was 1/60th of a second because I had to get down with the shutter speed to be able to keep up the ISO 100. So Sony a6300 was 1/30th of a second. But as you can see over here, both of the pictures are equally sharp and equally good quality. I would say the picture quality is the same. I don't see any difference in between these two. What I see over here is that on the Sony a6000 the focus might have been got on the back a little bit, because this is much more in focus than over here with the Sony a6300. With the Sony a6300 I think the focus is right on the tripod over here, but here you can see that these boxes are still in focus, so probably the focus got somewhere in the back, unfortunately. But let's see the next set of pictures, and then that will be hopefully different. So this is ISO 800, because the pictures before they were ISO 100 and 100, 800. So yes, so here it's okay. Here it's okay. You see the focus is over here on the tripods, and you can see over here as well. So guys, really honestly, now I don't know what you think, but I have to tell you that these two pictures, they are exactly the same. I don't see any difference in between. It might be only me, I don't know, but I don't see any difference. Now, some people, they might say that, yeah, but the Sony a6300 has 4K video. That's true, it has 4K video. If it's important for you, the 4K video, then obviously it worth upgrading. But if you are only a still shooter, if you are only with stills and not with video, or if you are happy with 1080p video, you know, full HD video. I mean, I'm doing my videos with the Sony a6000 in full HD, and I'm happy with that. So I don't know. I'm not really urging to get the 4K, and I tell you why. My experience and my opinion is that the 4K is a little bit overblown again with this 4K video, 4K video. Yeah, but if you look at the 4K video in a full HD screen, or if you look at the full HD video in the same screen, you won't really see a difference. You will see it. It will be a little bit better, but the difference is not as big as if you would see the 4K video in a 4K screen. So the 4K video will be very important at the point where majority of the people will have 4K screens. But at the moment that's not the case. So at the moment I would say majority of the people will not have 4K screens because they are still really expensive. So I don't know in USA, but in Europe it's definitely true. So that's why I'm not really in a hurry to change my cameras on 4K, because I would say that 4K video is still it's still in baby shoes, like, you know, it has to grow up. So after a few years, when the price of the 4K screens will go down, then probably yes. But at the moment, that's not the case. So I think that if you are looking only at image quality, I have to tell you that Sony a6000, even in these pictures, the shutter speed is 1/200th of a second with the Sony a6000 and 1/250th of a second with the Sony a6300. But if you have a look, I have to tell you that I like much better the Sony a6000 picture than the Sony a6300. I don't know, it might be only me, but that is what I see. I have to mention again that I'm not talking about low light capability, I'm talking about image quality. So low light capability, it might be a little bit better. How I checked a few videos about it, and the YouTuber who tested, he said that it's about 3/4 of a stop, maybe 1 stop difference in between the a6300 and a6000. So it might be better with a half stop or 3/4 of a stop. But does it worth upgrading? Does it worth the double price? For me, it's not. I would say I'm happy enough with the a6000, and I'm happy enough its low light capability. I actually choose better image quality and better overall sharpness on the top of the low light capability. As you can see in my video about Nikon D7200 and the a6000 low light comparison, and you will see the a6000 is better with a full stop, like the Nikon D7200. But I still prefer the Nikon D7200 because of the image quality is much better. So I think that it's everybody's personal preference, you know, how you wish, how you like it, if you like to have better low light capability, so be it. If not, if you like image quality, I'm that type of person. I like image quality over the low light capability. So I want to keep my images very clean, very sharp. Now let's see another picture. Okay, this is Sony a6300, and now we get over here to Sony a6000. ISO 100. This is ISO 100. Yep. So I made this picture I wanted to see kind of the autofocus blur, you know, from both of the cameras, you know. And obviously, if you have a kind of a close-up, you know, picture, then what's going on. But because I wanted to keep this at ISO 100, I had to go down with the shutter speed at 1/40th of a second, and here is 1/30th of a second. And I think that here with the Sony a6000, I think that there is a little bit of motion blur in here. I think that it's, I'm not sure, but it looks like, anyway, it looks like it's not 100% clean image, but still, you can see the results over here, that the both of the pictures, you know, they are equally good. I mean, if somebody thinks that Sony a6000 this picture is inferior by any means, please let me know, and let me know the reason as well why, because I don't see any difference. I think that it's the same. Both are the same, so no difference at all. Now I think that in my case, it's not worth upgrading. I think that the Sony a6000's image quality is good enough, and the Sony a6300's image quality is not better in such a manner that it works for me to double price. So Sony a6000 is €500 and Sony a6300 is €1,000. So I think it's not worth for me. If you want for 4K video, if you want, they say that the autofocus is better. Honestly guys, I did check the autofocus. I don't have over here I cannot show you over here, you know, because I didn't video myself in the shop. But I did check the focus, autofocus of the Sony a6000 and the a6300. Just focus here, there, here, there. I didn't see any difference. It might be a bit quicker, but the difference is so small, so tiny that I didn't notice at all. It might have much more focus points and the tracking, and it might be better. But the question is, does it worth that difference? If you have tons of money and you don't care where you spend it, go for it, buy it. If you want to think where you spend your money, and you might be investing in some fast glass and good glass, because glass will stay, camera bodies will go, don't forget that. So most important is to invest in some good glass, not in camera bodies. Next year they will come with other camera bodies, so that's not the point. Anyway, I will leave it up to you guys, and you have to decide yourself. In my case, my opinion is that Sony a6300 image quality wise, it's not really better than Sony a6000. It might be a small little difference, but you have to look with loop and try to find it. That's nothing. In other aspects, it might be better. Yes, but if you are only a still shooter and you don't really care about 4K video and all this kind of stuff, you know, I think it's not worth upgrading. I think that the Sony a6000 is good enough to handle the still images. So this is your decision. You have to decide, and I hope you will decide how it's better for you, because that's the main thing, that you enjoy your photography and you enjoy the camera you have. So if you enjoy Sony a6300, so be it. If you enjoy Sony a6000, so be it. So I enjoy Sony a6000, I don't mind using it, and I will still use it for a good while. And I hope that you will do the wise decision. And I hope this video was helpful to you. If yes, please like and subscribe, and share my videos, and have a lovely day. Take care.